Happy New Year to you. Yes, I chopped all this hair off. Happy New Year, guys. This is the shortest my hair has ever been, and it's unstyled. So this is like um, the rawest way. I just took a shower and blow dried it, and this is like the rawest. I looked online, and I guess they call this the boyfriend haircut. Long story um regarding this whole thing, but yeah, like I said, I don't think I've ever had my hair this short before, since I was born. Like my neck, the back of my neck is exposed. I don't recall ever feeling the sensation of a bare neck before. But yeah, a lot of things have happened since the beginning of the year. I just had this incessant desire. Like, okay, before the start of the year, I trimmed my hair. Actually, one of the most coveted skills that I learned that I've acquired in 2025 was being able to cut my hair, like cut my own hair, long layers. And I figured out how to do it. I learned how to do it by myself, which is great because, you guys know I keep my hair usually very simple, and going to the salon, I don't enjoy it. You don't enjoy it when you have chronic symptoms and you're just trying to hold it together the whole time, and the stylist wants to talk to you and you just like don't. You just want to get in and out of there, you know? And so I learned to cut my hair because I wanted to just like do things for myself, and especially things that I'm perfectly capable of doing, and it's going to save a bunch of money. So like a few days before the new year, I trimmed my hair, cut off a whole bunch, I have very, very thick hair. So I cut off like another person's weight of hair. And then the new year came, and I just felt like I needed to chop all of it off. I was like, I'm going to go shorter. Like, I just need to. Hey, Siri, turn off the TV. So I did that, and thank you. And I just lobbed it off. And mind you, I was doing a layered cut. So it looked really bad. Like there was a tail. It looked like a confused mullet lob layer thing. But I just kind of like sat with it, and it was very liberating. I was like, I looked in the trash, I looked at all my hair on the ground, and I was like, this is so liberating. I think this is my like Britney Spears shaving my head moment, you know? And it dawned on me, I looked at the trash and I was like, oh, I think this is all this grief and rage. I think my hair, it's just my own whims. I have been carrying grief and rage in my thick ass hair for so long. And this incessant need to cut it all off, was because it's a new year. So much has been shed, like, the new identity is coming in. So it's not styled, but when I curl it, it looks like my sister called it, she said it looks very Betty Boop, which is what I'm going for with my hair this short. So yeah, she called it Betty Boop because yesterday we went to a princess tea party for my sister and brother-in-law's birthdays, which was really fun. We weren't initially going to go because my daughter has been sick with this horrendous cough. She has not been sleeping. Like this is 4 nights now of her constantly waking up because of a coughing attack. We have to give her water. She's distressed. She's crying. She's upset. Appropriately so. It's awful. She can't sleep. So we have been thrust back into like newborn stage, and my husband and I were both like, we can't do this anymore. It's been pretty rough. But even though it's been pretty rough, we somehow have a lot of energy. It's kind of strange. So we went to tea party yesterday, which was fun. And then my daughter, she wore a mask, of course. And we weren't going to go. It was like this whole drama thing. We weren't going to go, but my sister already paid for it. So we were like going back and forth. What should we do? And ultimately, We just decided to bring my daughter because she seemed a little better. Yes, she was coughing, so she wore a mask, but she seemed a little better. And it was like an hour and a half. We're like, she can handle that. Uh, and she loved it. It like brought her spirits up because she's been so like sick this whole week. You know, I'm eating 3 years. And then we went to the mall because everybody wanted to go to the mall. I have not been to the mall in a very, very long time, not a big one like that. And I was kind of struck by how like an easy time I was having. I remember the last time I went to that particular mall, I had to like rush out of there because I was like falling apart. If you know, you know, right? But I was surprisingly okay. But my daughter was coughing a lot. Like it just like she was just coughing so much. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take her back to the car. And even as I was carrying her through the mall and she's coughing, like I could hear people going, ew, ew. And I'm like, I totally get it. I know. It's fine. But we like slowly made our way through the mall. And she wanted to go up and down the escalator and have fun. So we did that. And then she had to go use the restroom. So I took her to Macy's. We used the restroom. And then we, as we were slowly walking out, I just kept thinking of helmet because there is still that part of me, right? In a high stakes situation like that, where I don't have my husband with me. I don't have other people with me. It's just me and my daughter. I don't know what's going to happen with the symptoms, all that stuff. It always comes up, right? When you do a turbo exposure like that, as Helmet from the Mindful Gardener says. So, but at the same time, I felt fine. So it was a very bizarre situation. And I just kind of rolled with it because we're on this journey for a long time. We're experts at it. And so my daughter and I were slowly making our way out to the car. And she's coughing, but she's still in good spirits. And we're weaving in and out of stores, just looking at dresses real quick as we make our way out. And then finally we get out to the car and I just like grieve. I start bawling because so many emotions were coming up. It was just the grief of the journey that we've been on, the grief of, like the time I have missed where I easily could take my daughter to the mall and go shopping. All that was coming up. And then it turned into reconciliation with myself because obviously these symptoms, the reason why we're going through this is because your allostatic load is full. And also there's been a major sense of self-abandonment and self-betrayal your whole life. And that's why your body's speaking up because it's like, we cannot do this anymore. We cannot self-betray anymore. So many emotions were coming up. So many. And I did have to grieve it. There is a grieving process involved in this journey, in this situation. So it was nice to kind of reconcile that with myself. And it was nice to have that like short shopping experience, just solo, me and my daughter in the mall, like it felt normal for a little bit. So there was a lot of that. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's super raining right now. It's like super downpour. But what else did I want to bring up? I wanted to bring up my question is that I was posed with today. What if Sarno was right this whole time? Okay, if you've been on this mind body journey, right? You've listened to all the experts, you watched all the YouTube videos. You may have worked with coaches, you may have done programs, DNRS, brain training, but like all of it, mind change, all that stuff, right? Today, I was thinking about these two women that I know, they have since passed on. They both, and trigger alert if you don't want to talk about the C word, but they both dealt with the C word. One of them passed away because of it. And she was very young. And I was thinking about them this morning because they have, how do I explain this? The older woman was the stepmom to the younger woman, and they both passed away. They both had the same type of cancer. So it was kind of funny because they're not blood related, but I hear something. The running joke that they had between them was, see, the older woman would tell the younger woman, like, you are my daughter. We have the same disease. Okay. And so the one singular mutual thing between them is that uh, the daughter, like her dad married, I'm not explaining this well, but the dad was married to the older woman, right? So we've got a stepdaughter, stepmother situation. And they have both since passed on. And they actually passed on around the same 18-month time frame, which is very interesting. But the dad uh, is alcoholic. He has a lot of rage, that, abusive. I'm not so sure physically, but it's kind of a cultural thing. So anyway, all that to say, they both passed away like pretty tragically. And I was just thinking about that because I was like, I wonder if Sarno was right this whole time, where these two women, they had so much rage um, because of the environment that they lived in, because maybe it was abusive or manipulative or gaslighty, or just their needs were diminished. They had to learn to repress themselves. They had to learn that in order to survive in my environment, I have to take this shitty behavior, um, and I have to like diminish my needs. I actually journaled about this. I'm gonna look at my notes real quick. Yeah. And I just wonder, like Sarno's whole, Dr. Sarno, John Sarno, the pioneer of TMS, right? His whole thing is, oh, all of these chronic, unexplainable, mysterious symptoms is due to repressed rage. Like that's it. And I was just thinking about them this morning because I can relate. My environment that I grew up in, I talk about this on my channels, was pretty abusive. And I wonder if, like, you're angry, when you grow up in something like that, like, it wasn't right, but yet you've learned, because of how people treated you or they diminished you or whatever, right? You've learned then that you can't take your anger seriously. Like, you need to buck up, you need to power through, like you need to forgive, right? But I was writing about this and I'm like, it's really easy to say you want, like, you forgive someone, but now I'm starting to think that you can't forgive unless you feel that anger and that rage and you validate it, because you were hurt. And this is not like, people are like, I'm hearing the voices going like, you can't stay in victim mentality. Of course you can't stay in victim mentality, because you need to move on with your life. But there is, the emotional charge is still there. The hurt is still very much there, and it has to be felt. You have to, like, I was just thinking of them and I'm like, I wonder if they just could not internally accept how angry, how much rage they had within them. They just stuffed it into their bodies. And I'm speaking for myself too, right? Because I think about everything I've been through and I'm like, I wonder if my boundaries have been crossed so many times in my life, right? Because of the environment. Because most people, honestly, let's be honest, you guys, most people don't know this stuff. They weren't raised with it either. And they don't know what to do with people who are angry, right? So everyone suppresses themselves, or they lash out, or they cope with something else. So I just wonder if it is that simple, where you just like allow yourself internally and validate yourself and be like, yeah, there's a lot of rage under there, and it's okay. And you were victimized. It doesn't mean that you're going to go off and live your life that way, right? Like, you're not going to be like, and I know people like this. I'm like dealing with people like this, where I'm like, I don't like how I feel around this person because I don't like how I feel because of how they're speaking and treating me. And it's just like, it's all these triggers. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think I accept this kind of behavior or energy anymore, around me after everything I've been through. But then I'm like, I recognize that if I just feel the sting of that, if I just feel the sting of anger and hurt, then, and I accept it in its fullness, then I can make the decision of, okay, what am I going to do now? Like, I felt the sting, the potent, painful sting of this. And now I can choose, like, because I felt it all, Now I can choose. Is this relationship enough to, like, do I value this relationship enough and this person enough to forgive them? Or you can forgive from afar and also, straight up tell them, like, I don't like the way I feel around you. And I'm working on what this means. But in the meantime, I'm going to protect myself. I mean, you don't have to tell them that, but that's kind of the internal dialogue that's going on. So anyway, I'm grappling with all of that. And I'm pretty sure it had to do with this spontaneous short haircut, which is going to grow. Like, my sister was like, wow, why'd you cut it so short? And I'm like, honestly, it was liberating. I just wanted to cut all my hair off. But in like a month, it's going to grow. My hair grows so fast. It's going to grow out. And so I'm good with it. It feels it's liberating. It's forced me to, the thing with short hair too, it forces you to style it if you want it to look cute. So I'm spending way more time on myself, which is kind of interesting because I'm like, oh, that's a pattern that's different. I'm spending way more time on styling myself because of the nature of my hair. Like, I literally can't tie it into a ponytail. It's so short to hide it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, now this change is forcing me to kind of change and alter my getting ready routine and stuff. So yeah, a lot of very subtle pattern changes just within, what is it, January 4th, within the first 4 days of the new year. So this is going to be a very interesting year for sure. I mean, look at my hair. It's crazy. So, lots have been happening with my husband too, like our relationship, our marriage and stuff. Like, there's so many changes already. So my laptop's at 2%. So I'm going to wrap it up. You guys, let me know how the first couple of days of your new year have been so far. They've been very interesting for me. I haven't shared even close to everything that's been going on. I will one day, but yeah. Comment down below. Let me know how your New Year's went. Let me know what revelations are coming up for you too. 2026, if you guys saw my long form video that I posted, 2026 is going to be, clearly like a game changing year. A lot of relationships are going to change. They're going to transform as we continue to transform in this journey. So, okay, 1%. Okay, thanks for hanging out, guys. Comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. Okay, I will talk to you guys.